Vice Chancellor Sir Hilary Beckles, Miss Anya Schnorr, Dr. Donette Chin-Loy Chang, Dr. Wesley Hall, Pro-Vice Chancellors and Principals Eudine Barreto, Brian Copeland, Luz Longsworth, Dale Weber, UWI Toronto Gala Scotiabank Scholarship recipients, UWI Toronto Gala Committee, other distinguished guests, my name is Elizabeth Buchanan-Hind, and it is a pleasure for me to be the Master of Ceremonies for the inaugural UWI Toronto Benefit Gala Scotiabank Award ceremony. This all started 13 years ago at a table in the senior common room at the Mona campus over lunch with Donette. I needed to acquire the services of Dr. the Honorable G. Raymond Chang as patron of an event to be held in Toronto for the benefit of the university's scholarship fund, and I decided in order to ensure a response in the affirmative, I needed to convince the only person who was guaranteed to elicit such a result from him. It was not until after I got to know Donette to know her better that I realized nobody says no to Donette. The rest is history, as they say. 13 years later, here we are with 11 successful galas, about to embark on the 12th, 2 million Canadian dollars awarded in scholarships across the region, and Scotiabank's additional commitment of $250,000 Canadian dollars to be awarded to needy students. To say that we are immensely delighted by Scotiabank's kind generosity is an understatement. Today, we're here to present 15 students from across the region who are here to receive this prestigious award. 4 of them will bring messages of appreciation from their respective countries. So we begin the program today with Sir Hilary Beckles, the Vice Chancellor of the University of the West Indies, who really needs no introduction. But here we go. Professor Sir Hilary Beckles is a distinguished academic, international thought leader, United Nations Committee official, and global public activist in the field of social justice and minority empowerment. He is the president of the Universities of the Caribbean, chairman of the Caribbean Examinations Council, chairman of the CARICOM Reparations Commission, and advisor on sustainable development. He has had widespread global recognition for his leadership achievements and expertise, and was knighted by the government of Barbados. He has received numerous honorary doctorates from around the world and recently received the Martin Luther King Jr. Peace and Freedom Award. Ladies and gentlemen, Sir Hilary Beckles.
Thank you so very much, Elizabeth. Always a pleasure to be in your company, virtual or otherwise. I wish to say a few words in celebration of our hostess, Dr. Donette Chin-Loy Chang, who we love dearly, and thank her most sincerely for bringing us together once again with cause and with purpose. And to thank, of course, our sponsor, Scotia, who we have been so close to over many a decade, and who we are honored to continue to partner with. And through Scotia, I celebrate Anya Schnorr, who really is a Pelican Pride, a great alumna and a wonderful corporate leader. Our distinguished friend, Dr. Wes Hall, who has journeyed with us in recent years, and we thank you, Wes, as always, with deep sincerity and gratitude. And of course, I welcome my colleague principals, Principal Barreto, Principal Weber, Principal Copeland, President Longsworth, and with apologies from Principal Williams. And Elizabeth, thank you. Thank you once again. You do this with such distinction and class. I don't know what this university would do without your leadership. So thank you with gratitude also. We celebrate our 15 honorees. We're very proud of your achievements. You are here with us under the sponsorship of Scotia, and you will forever be representing their brand as you go out into your further studies and pursue careers which we know will be magnificent. University is challenged, like all universities in the world, with this COVID-19 pandemic that has struck at the heart of our regional Caribbean economies, have caused tremendous pain to our families, our students, our communities, our nations. But, you know, we in the Caribbean are doing our absolute utmost with resilience. And I'm so proud of the role that our university has performed. University science, University of the West Indies medicine. We have stood by our governments. We have stood by our communities in the management and in the suppression of this pandemic. And let me say that UE science and UE medicine and their sleeves rolled out in every community across the Caribbean. Our medical community, our medical students, our nurses. UE has had one of its finest hours in working with our governments and our communities and controlling and suppressing the spread of this pandemic. And importantly, UE can raise its hand and say, with its community service, we are saving lives every day. So I'm very, very proud of our university and what our colleagues have done. We have been able to get our students to complete their programs by online teaching and learning, and we have completed the cycle of graduations. How wonderful it is that with all of these challenges, the University of the West Indies has risen to its absolute maximum height in service to the people of this region. So let us have a wonderful gala of gratitude. Let us celebrate our resilience, our friendships, and our bonds. Thank you, Scotia. Thank you, Dr. Donette Lynchai. Thank you all very much. And back to you, Elizabeth.
Okay, thank you, Vice Chancellor. I just want to thank all our guests across the world. We have several hundred people globally in the UK, in Canada, in the US, as far as Switzerland, who have registered for this event. And I want to thank you for joining us today. Now, it's a pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Dr. Donette Chin-Loy Chang. Dr. Chin-Loy Chang is a communications leader, philanthropist, volunteer, and mentor. She, along with her late husband, G. Raymond Chang, are amongst Canada's and the Caribbean's most prolific philanthropists, with their giving extending worldwide. A Ryerson University alumna, she is the recipient of honorary degrees from Ryerson University and the University of the West Indies. For 12 years, she and her family and Dr. Wesley Hall have led the UWI Toronto Benefit Gala as co-patrons, the largest scholarship fundraiser for Caribbean students at the University of the West Indies. More recently, she was appointed to the board of the Black North Initiative and serves on the Onyx Initiative Advisory Board and the Coalition of Asian Canadas Against Asian Racism, 3 Canadian organizations founded in response to the rallying cry for social justice and equity. Her giving is always informed by lifelong learning, health, and diversity and equity and inclusion. A great believer in health and wellness, Donette is an avid CrossFit and hot yoga practitioner. And may I tell you, she's also a boxer. Donette.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you so much. Vice Chancellor Sir Hilary Beckles, President and Chief Executive Officer, Scotiabank, Mr. Brian Porter, CEO, Scotiabank, Ms. Anya Schnorr, Executive Vice President, Scotiabank Caribbean, Central America, and Uruguay, principals, students, co-patron, Dr. Wesley J. Hall, special guests. I'm so happy and grateful that we're able to meet to recognize Scotiabank and award the Scotiabank UE Toronto Benefit Gala scholarships. Before I proceed, please allow me to acknowledge the land on which I am here in Toronto, along with Wes, in Toronto, Canada. As a proud Jamaican and a proud Canadian, we are both, Wes and myself, we have the privilege of being on the traditional territory of the Mississaugas of the New Credit First Nation. This territory was a subject of an agreement between the Iroquois Confederacy and the Ojibwe and allied nations to peaceably share and care for the resources around the Great Lakes. We are grateful. Thank you, Canada. Elizabeth has already copped my speech, so with regard to how it started, yes, it was at lunch up at UWI that sold me. It was mostly the fried fish and the bami. Ray and I love the idea of introducing our Canadian community to UWI and the plight of thousands of students in the Caribbean. The first corporate friend we approached, of course, was Scotiabank. And Scotiabank has been a partner and an ally for almost 13 years. 600 scholarships, 90 extraordinary individuals honored, and a first-class event. The Vice Chancellor is correct. Elizabeth Buchanan Hind pulls it out all the time. Scotiabank's support is phenomenal and very special. We have collaborated every step of the way. Thank you, Anya. Resulting in one of the finest products here in the Canadian diaspora for the Caribbean. The UWI Benefit Gala, now known as the UWI Toronto Benefit Virtual Awards, represents the best of who we are as Caribbean people. It unifies us through our belief in education and our values such as ambition, courage, and social responsibility. To the scholarship winners, I want to say, your hard work and persistence have paid off. This is but the gateway to the rest of your life. Make it count, make it count. Use the opportunity wisely and remember, be kind, be compassionate. Always take the high road. Give back, first of yourself and then of your resources where possible. Remember, we are depending on you, students. Finally, on behalf of my co-patrons, Andrew Chang, Bridget Chang Adoricio, and Wesley J. Hall, thank you to the UWI Toronto Benefit Gala team, headed by Elizabeth and Antoinette Spooner. You are all really remarkable individuals. Enough respect, Gala team. This year, you may know, we're all going virtual. And I'm pleased that shortly you will hear from Wes. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Donette, and thanks for all that you have done as the co-patron. Ladies and gentlemen, I first met Wes Hall 6 years ago at the UWI Toronto Benefit Gala, and I remember distinctly being struck by his beaming smile, which I later learned reflected his warmth, humility, integrity, and generosity of spirit and humanity. Wes's accomplishments are so numerous and outstanding that if I read them all, we would be here until Thanksgiving. And so I've decided to select only 5 pages of his bio to read today. Just kidding. For those who don't know Wes Hall, Wes came from very humble beginnings in Jamaica to become one of the most influential business people in Canada. Canada's leading newspaper, the Globe and Mail, has called him one of the nation's most influential power brokers. Canadian Business Magazine named him one of the most powerful business people in 2016. Toronto Life magazine voted him among the 50 most influential Torontonians in 2020. The International Association of Business Communicators named him their 2020 Communicator of the Year, and Maclean's ranked him number 16 on their 2021 Power List in Canada. As the founder of Kingsdale Advisors, Wes has delivered an unparalleled track record of success for some of North America's biggest corporations. And as if this is not enough to fill his day, Wes is also an instructor at the Rotman School of Management of the University of Toronto, where he teaches Black entrepreneurship and leadership in Canada, a first of its kind in North America, which provides students with a deep understanding of the systemic anti-Black racism faced by Black entrepreneurs, the cultural impacts, and how to navigate the system. Wes is known for his generosity, leveraging his business success to benefit others with a number of impactful charitable initiatives, and serves as a board member of the Sick Kids Foundations, Pathways to Education, Toronto International Film Festival, and the Black Academy. Wes is founder and chairman of the Canadian Council of Business Leaders Against Anti-Black Systemic Racism and the Black North Initiative, committed to the removal of anti-Black systemic barriers negatively affecting the lives of Black Canadians. He has also changed the lives of thousands of children in the Caribbean and Canada, donating both his money and time. In 2015, Wes was the recipient of the Vice Chancellor's Achievement Award, and in 2017, he received an honorary doctorate from the University of the West Indies. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Dr. Wesley J. Hall.
So Liz, I have to tell you that the time that you gave me to do this speech is shorter than that introduction. Just so you know, you kind of ate into my speech a little bit there, but I appreciate the kind words. And I think most of the adults on the call, well, everybody's adult, but most of the folks that are not receiving a scholarship know my story. So I am actually going to speak to the scholarship recipients, okay? I keep a picture on my desk, this one, and you will see that this is the house I grew up in. This is me and my grandmother in Golden Grove, Jamaica. That house is built on stilts, and I have 14 brothers and sisters. My grandmother worked on a plantation in Jamaica, and she raised a lot of us in that house, including myself. And that's me when I was about 19 years old, going back to my grandmother and tell her that one day I'm going to get you out of that house. And I never got the opportunity because she died in poverty. The reason why I'm having this conversation with you, students, is because currently you're experiencing difficult circumstances. And your current situation may be like me being in that tin shack all those years ago. And there's a lot of despair that comes with that. And you don't know if you're ever going to overcome that despair. COVID has brought a lot of issues to the attention of the world. Mental issues is top of the list. It's something that it's unseen and we suffer in silence. And so what I'm telling you is that whatever issue that you may be going through currently, if you are raised in that tin shack currently, that is not the end of you. So I keep that picture on my desk, prominently displayed on Bay Street, which is the Wall Street of Canada. And because my office is closed, it's prominently displayed in my virtual office here at home. And I kept it for two reasons. Reason number one is to never forget where I came from. Never. Never hide that journey that you traveled, because that journey made you who you are. And number two is to honor this adopted home of mine, Canada. Because of where I came, because of a country like Canada, I can come from a tin shack and I can make it to a place where people are talking about the most influential person in the country, the most influential person in the city, right? And I do not hide that background. So because of folks like Scotiabank, you have the ability to now get your education paid for. So I have to tell you that I am very grateful personally for Scotiabank for the work that they've done, because they know the importance of education. They know the importance of investing in young people so that it can leave the tin shack and end up on Bay Street or whatever street that you want to end up on. And so when I was negotiating and talking to Scotiabank about their interest, it wasn't a difficult conversation. It wasn't hard. They were very prepared, engaged, encouraged, and they wanted to see this happen. Now, we all know that to recover from COVID-19, it takes the brightest and sharpest minds to do that. We all know that. And the University of the West Indies have some of the brightest and sharpest minds in the world, namely you. And we're going to need your help to dig us out of this systemic problem that we have when it comes to racism, when it comes to pandemic. We need the best and the sharpest minds. That's the reason why we and Scotiabank are invested in your education. So, as a student, you just received the generosity of a number of people. What are you going to do about it? You're now in that tin shack. You've made it to Bay Street. What are you going to do now? When we come from poverty, our job becomes first responders when we become successful, meaning that we need to go back into poverty and pull as many people out as we possibly can. And that will be your responsibility in the future as a result of the generosity that's shown to you. Always remember those people that are behind you, and always extend a hand backwards to bring them up along with you. So congratulations. I know you're going to work hard and continue to work hard, and we're going to be there behind you, cheering you, because you are the future. Not only the future of the Caribbean, but the future of the world. Back to you, Liz.
Well, I don't know what to tell you, ladies and gentlemen. He deserves an applause for that. Now you know why Wes is our co-patron, and his generosity is phenomenal. And thank you, Wes, and students, you just got one of the best lectures of your life. Record it, treasure it, put it up on your wall, okay? Now I'm going to introduce Anya Schnorr. Anya Schnorr was appointed the Executive Vice President, Caribbean, Central America, and Uruguay for international banking in October 2020. In this role, Anya leads the development of the overall strategic direction for the bank's personal, commercial, corporate, wealth, and insurance operations in the region. A native of Jamaica, Anya's experience in the financial services sector in the Caribbean spans more than 28 years in the area of wealth management, insurance, and banking. She is widely recognized as a strong business leader in the Caribbean region, receiving the Caribbean Luminary Award in 2019 from the American Foundation for the University of the West Indies for her contribution in the business community. Anya is currently director on the various Scotia subsidiary boards and is an active member in the community and serves on the campaign cabinet for the United Way of the Greater Toronto region. She is also a member of the International Women's Forum, an organization dedicated to supporting the next generation of women leaders. I now invite Anya Schnorr to provide remarks on behalf of Scotiabank.
Thank you, Liz. It's great to be here. Never easy to follow Wes Hall, but it's really a pleasure for me to be here with you all today. To again celebrate some of the best and brightest of the Caribbean. So I really want to first thank the University of the West Indies, the Chang family, for connecting us all virtually, finding a way to get this done despite the environment that we're in. So while it looks a little different than in the past when we all used to gather in Toronto, I think one thing that remains the same is that we're here to make a difference and help shape the lives of many aspiring graduates across the communities in the Caribbean. As has been said, for the past 12 years, Scotiabank has contributed to the University of the West Indies through the provision of scholarships, and I can't be prouder of our commitment to break down the barriers and provide equal access to education for students in dire financial need. And Wes spoke to this so powerfully. Since its inception, and when I saw this amount, I was really just amazed. We have collectively raised over 2.3 million Canadian dollars, and over 600 scholarships have been awarded to our inspiring students. As evidence this afternoon, these scholarships have had a profound impact on the lives of the recipients and have given them the opportunity to realize their full potential and contribute to enhancing the lives of generations to come. The stories we're going to hear today will be powerful, and they always are. We'll be hearing more about the impact our scholarships have had on former recipients. One of those recipients, Isaac Dunkley, whose inspiring story made headlines across our community. Today, thanks to these awards and scholarships, he's a student at Mona campus, majoring in medicine. Just amazing. You're going to be hearing from him later this afternoon on how the scholarship enabled him to reach his goals at a time when they seemed unattainable. He was perhaps, as Wes described, in his own version of a tin shack. Truly inspiring and a testament to why investing in our community and in the future leaders is critical. As you have come to witness, Scotiabank has deep, deep roots in the Caribbean. And, every time I say this, we've been in the region for 130 years. So even though we're a Canadian bank, I really believe that we are, a lot more Caribbean than a lot of people would realize. As an organization, we really believe that our success is inherently tied to the success of the communities in which we operate. That is why we're committed to continuing to invest in our communities and to make meaningful and positive impacts. In 2019, and I'm sure it was another conversation with Donette and Wes, we made the decision to expand our partnership with UWI, and we committed an additional $225,000 over the next 5 years so we could support even more UWI students in need. Over the past 12 years, we have really been touched by the hundreds of stories we have heard and the impact that the scholarships have had on their lives. And that's why we made this new commitment. We are going to provide an additional 15 scholarships each year for those 5 years, and I'm sure we'll be doing it long after that. But this year was an unusual year, and we knew we also needed to provide equipment and support for students in this new virtual environment. So in addition to that commitment, we also donated an additional $10,000 to provide new laptops for UWI students in need. Scotiabank is really guided by our purpose for every future. We're committed to making an impact and investing in a better future for everyone. Throughout my time at Scotiabank, I've been able to witness the positive impact we have made across our vibrant Caribbean community. And I've heard so many stories of how we have helped shape individuals' lives. And I'm proud to be part of an organization that understands the value of investing in our region. The investments we make in our community go beyond the dollar value. These donations have an immeasurable impact on the numerous lives we touch and create a positive ripple effect across our communities. As we move forward, I'm counting on our students here today and former scholarship recipients to answer the call when the opportunity arises to support our communities in the future. As community members, we all share a responsibility to support in whatever way we can and throughout whatever means we can. As a leading bank in the Americas, Scotiabank has served the rich and vibrant Caribbean region for many, many years, and we've supported the University of the West Indies since its inception. We're excited to continue that commitment into the future. The theme of today's event is Meet the Moment. Life is made up of many moments that define and shape our future. Each moment, big or small, is an opportunity for us to embrace and experience it before it passes us by. I'm grateful for the incredible people I have met, places I've had a chance to visit, and the experiences I've had. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind that living and working in the Caribbean has played an integral role in making me who I am today. And now, it's your turn, all of our recipients and past and future. It's your turn to meet your moment and start shaping your future and our region's future. So congratulations to all the recipients of these prestigious scholarships. You've worked hard, you've achieved your goals, and I know I speak for all of us here today when I say we're pleased to have the opportunities to support you as you go on to achieve your own dreams and aspirations. I wish you all the best in the future, and I'll turn it back over to Elizabeth. Thank you all. Thank you all, everybody.
Thank you, Anya, and thanks to Scotiabank for its continued support of the University of the West Indies. We'll be hearing from the students shortly, but at this time, we are about to be treated to a performance by Eleanor Hind and Isabel Chen, arranged by the renowned composer, artistic director, and musician Paulette Bellamy. Eleanor and Isabel, who are 14-year-old students at Campion College High School, won gold in the Jamaica Festival of the Performing Arts Competition in 2020 and first place in the Florida Federation Music Competition. Ladies and gentlemen, Eleanor Hind and Isabel Chen playing the violin and cello. and Isabel. Well, I hope you enjoyed that beautiful rendition of I'm an Banya by Pluto Shervington, which was so cleverly arranged by Mrs. Paulette Bellamy. At this time, I'd like to introduce Professor Udine Barito. Professor Barito is a Caribbean scholar, feminist, and experienced UWI administrator, having worked at the University of the West Indies and throughout the region for over 30 years. Professor Barito has received national, regional, and international awards and recognition. In celebration of Barbados' 47th anniversary of independence, Professor Barito was one of 4 persons awarded the Gold Crown of Merit by the Government of Barbados, the country's 3rd highest honor. The award was in recognition of her invaluable contribution to gender and development. In July 2011, she was bestowed the 10th CARICOM Triennial Award for Women at the opening ceremony of the 32nd regular meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government of CARICOM. Professor Barito was the president of the International Association for Feminist Economics from 2009 to 2010. She was an inaugural International Research Fellow at the Center for Excellence in Gender Research in Örebro, Sweden. In the year 1997, she had the distinguished honor of being the inaugural fellow of the Dame Nita Barrow Distinguished Women Development Visitor Program at the University of Toronto. She was awarded a Howard University Doctoral Fellowship in 1992 and was a fellowship scholar at New York University and was the first Caribbean scholar to be awarded the Margaret McNamara Memorial Fund Scholarship in 1991. I now invite Pro Vice Chancellor and Principal Udine Barito to bring greetings on behalf of the Cave Hill campus.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Elizabeth, before our distinguished speaker make her presentation, I think it would be appropriate for me to say that very recently, and this might not got into full circulation, very recently, Professor Barito has received Barbados' highest national honor, the Freedom of Barbados, which entitles her to be addressed as the Honorable Professor Udine Barito. I thought I would say that for our guests, and also to participate in the circulation and the communication of this fact that she is now the recipient of her country's highest national honor. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Vice Chancellor, Professor Sir Hilary Beckles, and our Chair, Elizabeth, Dr. Donette Chin-Loy Chang, Dr. Wes Hall, Miss Anya Schnorr, all UWI colleagues, but especially our students and members of the audience. I'm immensely delighted, truly humbled, and very grateful to be part of this award ceremony this afternoon. I celebrate the excellent work that has been done by the UWI Toronto Scotiabank Scholarship Gala Award ceremony. I can't remember the first time I attended, but I just know that I was deputy principal, so it was at least 7 years ago, and I sat next to a woman who has since passed, an incredible woman called Maud, and since then I have been coming. But this afternoon, on behalf of the UWI Cave Hill campus, I want to say thank you to our colleagues at the at the UE Toronto Gala, supported by Scotiabank, for unlocking dreams of all these talented young people, hundreds of young people up and down the Caribbean. You are unlocking dreams, you are creating worthwhile citizens, and you are making the Caribbean a much better place. If the speech by Dr. Wes Hall has been recorded, I would love to have it to inspire and motivate our students, because we all have that tin shack. and we all are obligated to give back. So on behalf of not only the University of the West Indies Cave Hill campus, but all of us in the Caribbean, we say a big thank you to Donette and her committee and Scotiabank and Dr. Wes Hall and all of you who year after year with elegance and grace continue to support our wonderful young men and women throughout the Caribbean and make the Caribbean a much better place. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much. Professor Barito, you're a treasure. The UWI Toronto Gala scholarships are awarded to academically outstanding students in dire financial need. Mrs. Beverly Hunter, who manages the university's Center Scholarship Program with excellence, I might add, will tell you that most are the first in their families and some their communities to have attended an institution of higher education. They continually express their appreciation for the opportunities afforded them as a result of this event. Ladies and gentlemen, today we will hear from a few of our recipients, starting with Imana Jeffers, who is an accounting major in the Faculty of Social Sciences at the Cave Hill campus. She brings a message of appreciation from the scholarship recipients at Cave Hill. Imana?
Good afternoon, everyone. All protocols observed. So at the start of the semester, I was not able to see my way. My name is Imana Jeffers, a third-year international relations with management student at the University of the West Indies Cave Hill campus. I struggled sourcing financing for my second semester for the academic year, 2020 to 2021. My mother, a self-employed hairdresser and single parent, had done all that she could for me in my 2.5 years at the UWI. I too had done my part. It almost felt like we were in a cycle of losing and building back up again, as we were just financially and physically recovering from the losses that we suffered at the hands of Hurricane Maria, which ravaged my island Dominica in 2017. And then came the COVID-19 pandemic, and like our esteemed principal, the Honorable Professor Eugene Barto would say, Master COVID. From failed loan applications to government assistance and other forms of financial assistance, I felt like I had hit a roadblock in my final year at school. The UWI Toronto Gala Scotiabank Scholarship is my savior. With this award, I am 5 steps above from where I was financially, and it brings me closer to completing my degree. I have no doubt that the other awardees from the Cave Hill campus have had similar experiences. Therefore, on behalf of the awardees of the UWI Toronto Gala Scotiabank Scholarship of the Cave Hill campus, I say thank you. Thank you for this opportunity, and to Scotiabank and the rest of the team. I say thank you for making the scholarship available for Caribbean students who have a goal to excel beyond our present vulnerabilities and hardships. It is Marcus Garvey who stated, "Liberate the minds of men, and ultimately you will liberate the bodies of men." I will conceptualize this to fit my gratitude to the University of the West Indies and Scotiabank. You have given us a story to tell, to motivate another young person to further their education, to take every opportunity that is before them, and to reach for their goals. I cannot express my gratitude enough. Thank you.
Thank you, Imana. An applause for Imana. Thank you so very much. And wishing you all the best in your future endeavors. We know you're going to be successful. At this time, I'd like to introduce Professor Dale Weber, who is Pro-Vice Chancellor and Principal of the Mona campus. Professor Weber has had a distinguished career in coastal ecology and environmental management, and a strong, consistent record of teaching, graduate supervision, administration, and research excellence, which spans 30 years of service to the university. Professor Weber also has an excellent record of public service, serving as chairman of the Environmental Foundation of Jamaica Board of Directors, convener of the Cape Environmental Sciences Panel for the Caribbean Examination Council, chairman of CL Environmental Company, and chairman of Jamaica's Climate Change Advisory Board. At the national level, his effective engagement with the private and public sector is very well known, particularly his expertise in the environmental sciences. Professor Weber has produced several publications, and he is our treasured principal of the Mona campus. At this time, I'd like to invite Pro Vice Chancellor and Principal Professor Dale Weber from the Mona campus to bring greetings.
Thank you very much, Elizabeth. Professor Sir Hilary Beckles, our Vice Chancellor, Dr. Donette Chin-Loy Chang, co-patron, and Dr. Wesley Hall, co-patron of the UE Toronto Benefit Gala. Ms. Anya Schnorr, Executive Vice President, Scotiabank, Caribbean, Central America, and Uruguay. Colleagues, principals, recipients, students, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. A light rising from the West is not just our motto, it is a creed by which we live. It is our guiding principle that has allowed us and defined us over the last 73 years to try and find students and have them excel and meet their goals. The institution was founded at a time when we could not fulfill those goals. Now we are doing so, and we're doing so with the help of our partners. We therefore want to thank Scotiabank for their continued phenomenal support over the years. 120 years, you said, Anya, that's a long time. At the Mona campus, 70% of our students are generation enrollees, meaning they're the first ones from their families to get to the UWI. It is an indication that we are indeed reaching those who are in greatest need, especially those who know about tin shacks. Right, Wesley? I'm even more thrilled to think of how we evolved and how we got here. Fried fish and bombing, we will have to recreate this as a part of our new culture and embed it in the next set of donations. Our program offerings are comprehensive and responsive, and our students are no less so. COVID has been a great challenge, and over the last few months, we've seen the evidence of the preparation of our students and our staff as we continue to fight. And as Vice Chancellor Beckles says, we have never had a finer moment. We saw medical students, many like Isaac, who volunteered call to man the COVID-19 helplines, to repair ventilators and produce sanitizers for the country. Our future is secure because we have a cadre of talented young professionals who've shown that they're prepared to do what it takes to make a difference, to be that light shining from the West. Our strides and our students are making great victories for us. In the face of all that seems insurmountable, we saw our community respond quickly, and we're able to respond because of who we are. Students had to go online. We thank Scotiabank for providing those devices that made it possible, along with many other partners. But then, having provided devices, we found that there were some students who had neither Wi nor Fi, and therefore still couldn't connect. And more partnerships had to make that possible. Partnerships, the key for our success. Today, we want to thank the UWI Toronto Gala, and especially Scotiabank, for their unwavering support to our students and their dreams over many years. Education is the greatest investment in our collective futures, especially where resources are limited. Scotiabank's support has helped us to secure our future as a region, and we commit to making good on that investment for ourselves and the global community. On behalf of the Mona campus of the UWI, our greatest thanks. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Weber. Our next scholarship recipient is Isaac Dunkley, who is a first-year medical student who will be speaking on behalf of the Mona campus UWI Toronto Gala Scotiabank scholarship recipients. Isaac?
Good afternoon, everyone. All protocols observed. I am Isaac Dunkley, a first-year medical student, and I am honored today to be speaking on behalf of the UWI Toronto Gala Scotiabank Scholarship recipients from the University of the West Indies, Mona campus. As far back as I can remember, I have always wanted to become a doctor, and knowing this, I pursued my dreams. During high school, I did the sciences, ensuring that I had all the requirements for the university. The only obstacle that was in my way was the payment of my tuition. My parents, being the owners of a garbage truck, were not able to fund my tertiary education, and so I tried everything and in every way to seek assistance. I reached out to family members, applied for numerous scholarships, hoping that something would work out in my favor. However, the support I received was not enough. At the end of high school, I came out with a total of 19 ones, both in the CXC and the CAPE examinations. While awaiting a response to my application to the university, I received an email stating that I was not accepted, and this left me in despair. The following day, my pastors, knowing my academic prowess, had made a way for me to be interviewed and for an article to be written about me in the Beacon. To my surprise, the article went semi-viral. Many persons were sharing, liking, as well as reaching out to me. However, I received a phone call from Dr. Adrian Stokes that changed my life forever. He explained that he had been in dialogue with the University of the West Indies and Scotiabank to see how they could help. And soon after, I received the UWI Toronto Gala Scotiabank Scholarship worth $1 million. And from there, I was able to start university. I had received a blessing of a lifetime, and I thank God for that. So, I would like to say a huge thank you to the Scotia sponsors of the UWI Toronto Gala Scotiabank Scholarship. It is because of kind-hearted and giving persons like you why students like myself and many others that are here today can pursue their dreams. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Isaac. I don't know that I think everybody in Jamaica knows Isaac's story because it went so viral and it was all over social media. And we are delighted that you are now a member of the UWI family. You are going to do great things, young man. At this time, I would like to introduce Professor Brian Copeland, who is a graduate of the Faculty of Engineering at UWI and also a graduate of the University of Toronto and a graduate of the University of Southern California. He has been all over. He has coordinated the Steel Pan Initiatives projects, which saw the development and patenting of the G-Pan, a re-engineered form of the traditional steel pan, and you will like that, as well as the percussive harmonic instrument, an electric form of the traditional steel pan. Professor Copeland is convener of the Steel Pan Research Center at UWI. Professor Copeland has won many prestigious awards. In 2008, he was the first recipient of the Order of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. And in 2007, he was joint recipient of the Chaconia Medal Gold as a member of the G-Pan development team. At this time, I would like to introduce Pro Vice Chancellor and Principal Brian Copeland to bring greetings on behalf of the St. Augustine campus.
Thank you, Elizabeth, and good afternoon to Professor Sir Hilary Beckles, Dr. Donette Chin-Loy Chang, Dr. Wesley Hall, Ms. Anya Schnur, fellow campus principals, scholarship recipients all, congratulations, and our viewing audience. Now, it was at a ceremony in January 2020, just over a year ago, that here at the St. Augustine campus, Brendan King, Senior Vice President at Scotiabank International, announced that Scotiabank would provide 15 new scholarships to UWI students every year for the next 5 years. So naturally, that was a happy moment for us at the St. Augustine campus, as I'm sure it was for UWI as a whole. I recall that we took the Scotiabank team to our Steel Pan Lab, the Cocoa Research Center, which is the oldest cocoa research center in the world, as well as the 203-year-old National Herbarium, of which we are the custodian. I recall to the awe at the research work that was coming out of the campus. Between that time and now came COVID-19. With its arrival came an even more urgent need for such tangible support. The stark reality is that apart from ushering in its own challenge, COVID has significantly highlighted the many problems that bedevil society. Universities generally, and the UWI in particular, play an important role in confronting and correcting these social ills. I believe in the people of the Caribbean, the space that really and logically should be called Caribbean. Forgive the pun. I know our students and graduates have the mettle to take their countries and region through this unprecedented time, just as the generations of graduates before them have done. This generation is living through the long drought of a recession, which the pandemic has exacerbated. They are persevering in their goals, even as staff and students pivot to teaching and learning online. It is that courage and determination that our nations need at this point in time. And we in the UWI are committed to giving them the tools and the leadership skills to enable them to remain driven to pursue their new ideas and new ventures. I just added this, having listened to the speeches that went before me. I felt I should have spoken first, Elizabeth, because I really can't live up to that level. But to Wes Hall, to Imana Jeffers, to Bevan, to Isaac, Chantel, and other awardees, I just have to say that you are proof positive that it takes a lot of pressure to make a diamond, because I saw diamonds there. We have a long way from the earliest universities of Asia, Africa, and medieval Europe that blended spiritual thinking with scientific inquiry. We have, as other universities globally, advanced from pure research, rich with philosophical discourse, to a greater emphasis on applied research, while developing our teaching effectiveness to meet the growing needs of a more demanding public. As the Caribbean yet again traverses another period of uncertainty and challenge, we will intensify our labors in the public space. Our university story is ever ongoing and ever evolving. The next chapter is one of stronger partnership and collective effort with the wider society for positive change. So in closing, I wish to express, on behalf of the St. Augustine campus, our gratitude for Scotiabank's continued support. We on this campus share that commitment to sustainable business and the creation of a better future for everyone. There's no question that these scholarships will assist our next generation of change makers to make that often elusive goal of an economically and ecologically sustainable Caribbean a reality. And with that, I thank you.
Thanks so very much, Professor Copeland. And at this time, I'd like to introduce Bevan Babwa, who is studying optometry at the St. Augustine campus and will bring messages of appreciation from the students at St. Augustine in Trinidad and Tobago. Bevan?
Thank you, Ms. Hine. Good afternoon, everyone. All protocols observed. So I'm Bevan Babwa, a final year student pursuing a BSc in optometry at the University of West Indies, St. Augustine campus. And I must say, the last few years of my life have been tumultuous. It has been the most uncertain, anxiety-provoking, yet transformative time that I've ever experienced. My family and I have faced numerous challenges together, including the loss of our home due to fire, and then the loss of our financial security due to the COVID-19 global pandemic. To say that our faith had been tested would be a gross understatement. To say that we didn't have to dig deep inside our souls and find the strength to persevere day in, day out without anxiety would be unfairly inexact. To say that we have overcome all presented challenges now would be fallacious. However, to say that we also hadn't experienced some of the most generous acts of kindness would be utterly inaccurate. Today, my family and I, yes, we, because this experience we shared together, have come a long way from where we were. Through the kindness of our community, our family, and a few good friends, we found the support that we needed to survive the insurmountable challenges that we had been faced with. Trying to achieve at university throughout this time, as you can imagine, was extremely difficult. That being said, the University of West Indies and my lecturers have extended every support, kindness, and assistance that any student could hope for in attending a tertiary institution at this time. Had it not been for the kindness that was given freely and frequently, I would not be here speaking today. So within that, I would like to humbly and graciously thank Scotiabank for facilitating this award through the University of West Indies. As you could imagine, prior to receiving this award, paying for my education would not have only been difficult, but probably unachievable. This award, the UWI Toronto Gala Scotiabank Scholarship, is not only helping to achieve my degree, but by extension, my working career as an optometrist. This makes it quite life-changing in every aspect of that sentiment. And that sentiment, I'm sure, must resonate with every recipient. So on behalf of all students at UWI St. Augustine campus, recipients of past, present, and future, we would like to thank Scotiabank and the UWI Toronto Gala for all of their continued support in Caribbean talent. When I crossed that stage this year, hopefully, and my certificate is handed to me, it would feel as if each and every person, organization, and body that lent support would have placed it in my hands. I would like to also take this opportunity to remind those who are persisting in difficult and uncertain circumstances to keep faith, reach out, and share your story. Thank you, family. Thank you, Ms. Hine, Ms. Beverly, Mr. Farnan, and others at the University of West Indies, St. Augustine. And last but not least, thank you, Scotiabank and UWI Toronto Gala for your kindness. Mankind is only mankind with that value, kindness. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Bevon. Thank you for that message, and we wish you all the best. And now I'm going to introduce Dr. Liz Longsworth. I want to point something out here. I know the university and the region, we have had a long and rich history with Canada. But have you all noticed that every bio that I've read, every principal has a connection to Canada? That's unbelievable. So, Dr. Liz Longsworth considers herself a Caribbean national, being born to Venezuelan and Jamaican parents, and who lived and who has lived throughout the region. Fluent in Spanish and French and Patois, Dr. Longsworth also holds a doctorate in business administration in higher education management from the University of Bath in the UK. She is also a graduate of the University of the West Indies, where she earned her BA in French and Spanish and an MBA in marketing. She is also the holder of a Master of Arts degree in Hispanic Studies from Queen's University in Ontario, Canada. She has over 25 years of experience in both academia and business in Jamaica, in the British Virgin Islands, and Belize. Dr. Longsworth's research includes leadership development, change management, and organizational development and transformation. She's also a certified trainer in leadership courses for the internationally renowned John Maxwell Company and has participated in various consulting projects in the Caribbean and the United Kingdom. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Liz Longsworth, Pro Vice Chancellor and Principal of the Open Campus.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth. Thank you very much. And I greet our Vice Chancellor, Dr. Donette Chin-Loy Chang, Dr. Wesley Hall, Miss Anya Schnorr, my colleague principals, and of course the people of the moment, our scholarship awardees, all friends of the UWI who are joining us via this online modality. Good afternoon to everyone. First, let me start with where I always like to start, which is to put the gratitude first and to say thank you to the UE Toronto Gala team and Scotiabank for your commitment to the young people and the not so young people of this region through this scholarship fund. It is more than you may even ever know when I tell you a little bit about our Open Campus awardees and our Open Campus students. As Dr. Hall mentioned, many of our awardees would have felt that they could never have made it here. The students who chose to come to the Open Campus are students who were pretty sure at some point in time that they would never have a chance at a university education because of their geography or because of their commitment to their families or to their work. When the Open Campus was formed in 2008, the university broke those barriers and carried the university to the communities rather than waiting for the communities to come to the university. This was the first major phase of widening our access throughout our region. Our Open Campus students, you'll hear more about Chantel, but our Open Campus students are more likely to be persons who have been working, who wish to improve their ability to take care of their families. Many of them are students who work full-time and study from midnight onwards. And I can vouch for that because I have taught online and I see them, or they write to me at midnight. They are persons who have made tremendous sacrifices to remain in their communities, to contribute to the growth of their families and their communities. I want to especially thank the UE Toronto Gala team and Scotiabank for expanding the scholarships to the Open Campus students. And why do I say this? When we first started, Open Campus students were seen as students who are working and therefore not eligible for scholarships because they were studying online. It is an interesting twist of fate that now almost all students are studying online. But at the time when we started, many of the donors would exclude the Open Campus students from the scholarship funds. And this was not the case with the Toronto Gala and Scotiabank scholarships. And I want to thank you for that vision because it was indeed visionary to ensure that students who are studying online could also benefit. I want to also say that on behalf of our campus, we want to thank you for the support during the COVID, well, and that's still going on, but the emergency support that you gave us during the COVID disaster, I would call it, because so many of our students lost the jobs that they had, that they were holding on to, and were unable to pay their fees. And we were able to really support them through your kind assistance. And all I can say is that Toronto Gala, Scotiabank, you are friends indeed. Thank you so much. As I close, I would just encourage all of our awardees to do as I think everyone has said, and that is to pay it forward, to give it forward. In Jamaica, we don't go back, right? To give it forward as you move through your own stories. But your stories are very inspirational, and do not, as Dr. Hall said, do not be shy to share them with your colleagues, because this is what could, when one of your colleagues is thinking about dropping out or worse, could inspire them to continue. And of course, with the support, the financial support that we get from the Toronto Gala Fund and the Scotiabank Scholarship, this gives them hope. And in times like these, that is really what we need. So thank you Dr. Donette Chin-Loy Chang, and the team, Dr. Hall, Anya, Scotiabank, the organizers of this scholarship, Dr. Mrs. Buchanan Hind and her team, and Beverly, who is their mother. Thank you so much for giving all of us, our students and the campuses that serve them, hope that tomorrow is going to be better. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Longsworth. At this time, I am going to introduce Chantel Paul, who will bring messages of appreciation from the Open Campus. Chantel is majoring in international relations and is in her third and final year. Chantel?
Good afternoon, everyone. All protocols observed. My name is Chantel Paul from the University of the West Indies, Open Campus, Grenada. I am a second-year student pursuing an undergraduate degree in accounting. I would like to express my sincere gratitude for my UWI Toronto Gala Scotiabank scholarship. When I was first accepted into the University of the West Indies, I had to request a deferral due to financial constraints. Since starting the University of the West Indies in January 2019, I have been applying for payment plans every semester to assist me with paying off my balance to avoid being locked out, since I am unable to apply for a student loan at this time. I try my best to keep my GPA in good standing. However, the current semester has been challenging for me regarding the sourcing of funds to meet the monthly payment deadline. It has been increasingly difficult to pay on a monthly basis since I have no other source of funding or income. Prior to this, I was able to meet my monthly payments through assistance from other scholarships, and these scholarships are no longer available. As a result, I was considering a deferral until January 2023. It saddened me that I had to consider deferral because I am a determined individual who wants to get a degree in accounting so I can make a better life for myself and my son. I was elated when I opened my email and saw that I was granted a UWI Toronto Gala Scotiabank scholarship, since I knew that the scholarship would greatly assist me with getting back on my feet. Now I can complete my studies in a timely manner, and on behalf of all the other UWI Toronto Gala Scotiabank scholarship recipients at the Open Campus, I just have to say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Chantel. At this time, I want to thank everybody for being here this evening, and to all our guests throughout the world, thanks for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the program and the opportunity to hear and see some of our students who are comparable to the best in the world. The University of the West Indies is a first-class institution providing a first-class education, and our graduates can be found throughout the world making seminal contributions in the societies they serve. I wish to thank all our presenters this afternoon, in particular our co-patrons, Dr. Donette Chin-Loy Chang, Dr. Wesley Hall, our lead sponsor, Scotiabank, and Anya Schnorr, our premium sponsors of the UWI Toronto Benefit Award Ceremony, Kingsdale and Sprott. It would be remiss of me not to thank the UWI Toronto Gala Committee, who work tirelessly to ensure the success of the event, and my colleagues in the Institutional Advancement Division, Angela Brown, Howard Shan, Camille Wilson, Celia Davidson Francis, and Beverly Hunter, who have built a reputation globally with everyone with whom they have had to interact. The highest of praises are always heaped on them. Thanks to our performers, the cellist, Isabel Chen, and violinist, Eleanor Hind. Thanks to our esteemed principals who lead us every day through these challenging times, and our leader, Sir Hilary Beckles. Thank you for always being there and supporting us. Have a good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and remember, wash your hands, sanitize, wear your masks, stay safe and well. Bye.